What is up, everybody? Welcome to the second episode of the Diamond Hunt Podcast. Oh, we got a problem here. We're just gonna keep rolling here on the mutes. There we go. We don't want that echo the whole podcast. There we go. All right. Sorry for that slight technical issue. We are now back. We have with us today the one and only Smitty. Thank you for joining us today, Smitty.
My pleasure. It was fun last time, so we got to do it again.
Yeah, we're glad that you're here. And we
Yep.
also have, of course, Egos the mod. Egos, thank you for joining us today. We're going to do a couple questions.
Thanks. It's interesting to be here.
Well, hopefully it's a pleasure. Um, we'll be having a good time here, going for a little bit, and then let's see. We're going to start with some questions. We're going to talk a little bit about the update, right? Because we have to talk about the update. And then I think Smitty, why don't we start with a little recap of what we're working with? Let's talk about the first podcast.
Yeah, so we had one podcast, I think it was about a month ago, and I think it went really well. People were really happy with the results, so I went ahead and made another one. However, I'm gonna put a straw poll later based on podcast/updates and timing. So stick around for that because I really want your feedback based on the updates and how we're gonna do it. So, because right now this is the first time we're like doing a podcast and doing an update right after, and I think it's interesting to be able to spoil/talk about the update that's gonna come up later today, and having podcasts like not every week but every second or third week could give me much more time to do much more fulfilling updates and not have things that are not like ready yet, like the loopbacks, the last area. So I think that could be interesting, but we'll touch back on that later. But yeah, there's a couple questions that are coming back from podcast one. I probably won't go over those that much unless they got a lot of upvotes on Reddit. So yeah, I guess let's get going with the questions and we'll see how it goes. And I'll be talking about the update after the questions that's coming out after the podcast.
Sounds great. And I do believe that later on today we're going to be doing a little bit more Overwatch once the Diamond Hunt stuff is done. So if you're
Yes,
interested at all
definitely.
in that, tune in. We're going to be hopping over to my channel later
Yeah,
to do that.
we'll be doing his channel probably later today after this podcast, which is a lot of fun too. So you guys can come join. And also, Fred is asking if we're taking questions in chat. We do have someone behind the scenes who's reading the chat and taking questions. So if you have any questions, go ahead and post it in chat. We'll note it down and we'll answer those at the end of the questions that we already have grabbed up from Reddit.
All right, so let's kick it off. We're going to start with a question here from the one and only Fireblade92. People have been asking about the mining level, machine ore ratio a lot recently, trying to find out themselves how it works. Some claim that the ratio only raises with every 25 levels. Some spoke about the value of one machine every 10 levels. What's the actual deal there, Smitty? What's the nitty gritty?
Okay, so there's two things that you have to know about mining. So there's common ores and there's rare ores. Common ores, there's anything between stone, copper, tin, all the way up to marble. And after you have promethium and runite or runit, however you want to call it, is the rare ore table. So the way it works, if I go look in the code real quick, I could post this to like I'll post it in chat now, but I'll also be posting it somewhere in the update log so you guys can actually see it later on. Let me just post this real quick. Okay, so this might not make sense to everybody, but I'll post it anyways. So basically, in this piece of code, the way it works is, let's say you hit the copper on the common drop table. It takes a random value from 0 to the number of machines that's on, plus your mining level divided by the 25. So I guess in essence, yeah, that's exactly how it works. From copper, tin to all the common ores, that's how it works. And for the rarer ores, it's not exactly like that because you can't get more than one rare ore at a time unless you have the diamond saw blades or like the upgrades for the machinery. But the way it works is basically you have a 1 in 25,000 chance to hit promethium drop table, or yeah, to get that item. And the more machinery you have on, the more machinery that you have on, the less that number the number goes down. So let's say right now it's 1 out of 25,000. Well, if you have 10 machineries on, it'll be like 1 out of 10,000, for example. I don't exactly have those numbers, but I can also post that in the update log shortly.
That would be cool to see. Yeah, I'm sure that people, if there are data heads out there like me that love to crunch the numbers, we'll
Yeah,
keep
to see
working
like
on them. But to actually know what the logic is neat too.
it's nice to see like how can you optimize your machineries versus oil based on how much ore you get. So it's very interesting, and it's incredible how many players dig into this like even more than me, and it really helps me a lot to balance things too. So it's great. I'll post it for sure.
Sounds good. We'll look for that online. Let's move on to the next one. DJ Mikey 007 wants to know if we're gonna get more shields and offhand items. I think this came up last time, um,
It did.
so it's a popular question to have it
Actually,
back.
yeah, the new area has a new offhand weapon. It's not a shield. It gives 0 bonus. It's actually already coded, but it won't be released in this patch, unfortunately, because I want to focus on animals. I've been up since 5 a.m. today to finish the animals, and I didn't get around to get the offhand dagger in there. But basically, what it's gonna do is every time you get hit, you're gonna poke your enemy for 1 damage, and it goes right through defense. Always 1. So no matter if he's 100 defense, 1,000 defense, it doesn't matter. You'll always hit a 1 when he hits you. So it's gonna be very powerful.
Sounds like a good setup. We'll look forward to seeing that here soon. All right, let's see here. Meekrit Agent. Meekrit Agent kind of went crazy on these questions. He's got several. We'll just say
They're
like
good
the next
questions though.
block. Yeah, they're good questions. So
Yeah.
his first one is, what's the drop rate of shooting stars on Mars and interstellar space? I want to know about this too because I haven't played for a long time, but I think I've sent my rocket, I don't know, 50 times maybe. 0 shooting stars.
Yeah, Egos will tell you later how many times you sent this rocket and got like nothing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So the moon is, I don't know if I said it last time, but it's 1 in 40 to get 1 shooting star on the moon. On Mars, it's also 1 in 40, except you get 2 instead of 1, which is nice. And if you actually have the red rocket orb, it's 1 out of 4. But that takes a long time to go into interstellar space. For those who don't know, the red rocket orb, it allows your rocket to not only go to Mars, but to go to Mars, you need the green one, absolutely. And the red one lets you go to interstellar space to collect dust, space dust, I guess. And yeah, your chance of shooting star is 1 in 4. And if you guys didn't know already, on Mars, there's a 1 in 80 chance to get a massive amount of SD, like 3 million SD. Just a bunch of stars everywhere on the picture on Mars. It's pretty cool. But yeah, so keep sending your rockets because that can really pay off real quick based on your luck.
All right. So, Meekert Agent had a couple more questions here, specifically about adding new items to the market. Are there anything we could look forward to with a new update? Eggs, cheese, honey, manure? Adding that
Manure.
last one myself.
That's not that bad. Yeah, that could be like compost, I guess, right?
Yep.
Hey, that's actually a good idea. Manure into compost. Yeah, I like that. Actually, what I'm gonna do now is the update that's coming out later. I'm not gonna make anything tradable for now. I'm gonna wait till like the numbers are all set and everything gets balanced because I'm sure like I've been working on this for 2 weeks now and I try to get the numbers really balanced to the game, but I'm sure like it's gonna be off by a bit. So before I make anything tradable, I want to get those numbers right. So for now, that's gonna be on pause for the market and the new animals. However, once everything settles down and I see like the people are happy with the way animals are set, then we'll look into like things to be traded on the market because we could even go to the extent of trading cows, animals, whatever, what have you. So that could be interesting. Yeah, we'll talk about that later too. So
Excellent. Are you familiar with the quality of life scripts, DH2 fixed and TED's market script?
yeah, I am. I think it's really cool that players are taking the time to script, like create like quality of life scripts to make things easier. I think it's great. Like I'm all for it. So if you want to use them, go ahead. They're completely legal and they're really really nice. Just like obviously you have to be careful when you download like code from somewhere else and stuff. But I've never had any complaints of like people getting hacked based on the scripts. So and I think
Have
you
you
have
ever
access to the
used
source.
them?
I don't use them. No, I don't use them. I try to play my game in the way that I develop it. So if I see something's missing while I'm playing it, I can like add the QOL. I'm sure if I would use Ted's QOL script, I'd probably find a couple of things. Oh yeah, it's a good idea. I should probably implement that. But I think I've done that a few times, but I haven't actually used it myself. No,
You've got a
it
couple
looks
of
pretty cool
cool
though.
quality of life things too. I think a lot of people don't go into the profile section of their account. You'll find it up near the top by your total skill level. So if you click on profile, I know that you added some stuff for like, knowing when your combat's ready, knowing when all your trees are
Hmm.
grown.
Yeah, because I'm trying to, how you have the top bar, and the more I add potions, the more that top bar gets filled with like potions and timers. So I'm trying to make it kind of optional to have like notifications for stuff. So that's why I added that in the first place. And there's gonna be more coming with animals and stuff, because well, I'll talk about animals later, but once they can get sick, and you'll have a notification for that, which can toggle on and off. So I guess we'll wait till the end again.
Yeah, we'll be getting there pretty soon. We got a couple more questions to work through. This one's a good question. What kind of beer do you drink, Smitty? What's your favorite type of beer?
Um, Favorite? It depends on how I feel. Right now I'm drinking Sleeman. It's not my favorite, but it was on special. So it's okay. I mean, I think I said it last time, but I like beers from Europe, German beers and Scottish beers and stuff. It's good. But yeah, the beer in Canada here it's okay. It's just an okay. Yeah.
And let's talk a little bit about a couple weeks ago. There were a few accounts that were reset. Are there any more details that you can share on that scenario?
Okay, this is a okay, yeah. I'm sure you guys know all this in chat or you've probably heard about this, but there was a few people who went up the high scores really, really fast. And actually, Agradon told me about it, saying, "Hey, this guy, he's alt trading and stuff, or something is sketchy." And I looked into it, and yes, it was very sketchy. Not in alt trading, he found a bug, a pretty bad one. And as soon as I found it, I patched it right away. Um, so I'm gonna say how the bug worked. It's already been patched, so it's a really easy patch. But the way it works is the guy, because you know how you have gem goblins. Each time you fight in an area, you have a 1 in 1k chance to hit the gem goblin drop table type thing. So you actually start fighting one. So the way it worked is he would send his hero, like he'd modify the packet to send his hero to an area that doesn't exist. So the server would ignore that packet. However, it would still calculate or attempt to find the gem goblin. So by sending that packet over and over and over again, eventually he would hit that number, the 1 in 1,000, and then he'd start his fight with his gem goblin. And this was super easily detectable because I have a lot of tools that I use for this kind of stuff. And what I did is I did a lookup on every player, and I looked at how many days they were playing versus how many gem goblin bags they opened. And I think I had like 8 people in the list that were like, yeah, that's not legit. So he was pretty sneaky about it though. He didn't open too many where it was incredibly sketchy, but it was enough for me to know. So that was the big exploit that we were talking about a couple weeks ago. But it's
Good.
been fixed, and I've actually banned all the accounts associated to that. I've also banned a lot of accounts that that person traded with other people who are all trading the diamonds across to other people. So I'm glad that's out of the way. Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
that's
a
an
nightmare.
interesting bug.
Yeah, actually, to go back to the first podcast, there was a question that said, "What is the thing you hate the most about working on Diamond Hunt?" That's what I hate the most. I said in the podcast one that I don't like fixing bugs. I'm changing it to banning people and going through data and data to try to see who cheated. I hate doing that. Such a waste of time, but you got to do it.
Yep, got to do it.
Yeah.
Let's grab a couple quick ones from the Twitch audience. Someone was asking if we're going to be seeing a use for the ancient spinning wheel anytime soon.
Nothing planned yet, but I know eventually that I'll be doing something with it. So yeah, no plans yet, but I'll just keep it at that because right now I'm focusing on animals, but definitely not a waste of time to upgrade because eventually it'll be useful. Probably like really end game and Paradox last like final boss and stuff could be useful.
Cool. Thanks for that question, Superbad DH from the Twitch chat. Ferdigus was wondering if the blue rake orb applies to Bob's uncle's farm, and if not, is it something that could possibly be implemented in the future?
Huh, that's a good question. I don't think it does. I have to check the code. I can't believe I haven't thought about this before. Give me 2 seconds. I don't think it does. Yeah, it doesn't. Because the way I saw it is the rake belongs to Bob. So when I coded it in my head, I was like, okay, since Bob is using the rake, which is maybe not that clear, that it wouldn't apply to the uncle. And if you think about it, like if it would actually trigger, that's 50 free seeds for the mushrooms. I think that's a little OP.
That would be quite a few seeds back.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to do that.
How about this one? What team are you rooting for in the World Cup? Yugi Jorgi wants to know.
Oh boy, I have no idea. Here, let me say a team. I'm gonna go for. Is France in there? I have family in France, so I have French family, so I'm gonna go for France. If they're in there.
Sounds good. And if not, well, we're showing
Not
our
work too
ignorance
bad.
of the game. He was also wondering if there's any other sources for income from the game other than just the donor coins.
Nope, it's just the donor coins. So yeah, it's just the donor coins. I know in Diamond Hunt 1, it was one-time payment where you pay an X number of donor coins to unlock everything, and you'd have everything like you'd be good to go. And now that it's per month, I don't plan on releasing more donor slash revenue streams because you're already paying per month for those who want to, I think. So yeah, no other revenue streams. I actually was looking into advertisement, but I don't like advertisement. It's such a pain. Like obviously at work I can't have ad block, and I just sometimes I browse the internet and I go like on a site and it's so bad. Like it makes me aggressive. You're like you're reading the news and then you're scrolling down, the video comes down with you. Like what is that? It's so stupid. Anyways, yeah, no ads, nothing. No more revenue streams. I'm good the way it is.
Cool.
So the next question comes from Too Much Moist. And I'm not entirely sure I fully understand this, but he was asking about reworking the Empowered Stone, giving each ore-based stone more XP than the next, but costing more SD to buy. Or Stardust.
Okay. Rework. Okay. I'm not sure if I understand it either, but from what I'm guessing is he's asking that giving each ore base, I have it here on the Excel sheet.
We're official like that, guys. We've got a whole Excel sheet of all these questions. This is
Oh
a
yeah,
serious
we're we're
operation.
we're very professional. Okay, I don't get the question. Giving each ore base stone more XP than next, but costing more SD to buy.
How about
Sorry,
this?
man, I'm gonna.
Are there any plans to rework the Empowered Stone system as of right now, Smitty?
Um, I might rework the numbers, but for now, not really. If I do change it, I might make it more like less annoying type thing. Or I saw a suggestion on Reddit about adding like the marble power stone and quartz. So that could be interesting to get those prices, get that back in the market, in the economy. So I might do that. If anything changes, it'll probably be that.
I think players would definitely, at least particularly the hardcore players would
Yeah,
enjoy being able to use other types of stone.
definitely.
So as you hinted at, it took me 186 rocket launches to finish the hard achievements.
Specifically the shooting star.
Yeah,
Correct?
getting that brewing one. Like I had gotten 3 shooting stars before the achievements came out, but to finish those hard achievements, it took over 9 months. So what are the plans for elite achievements? People are holding on to things and just like, oh, what is he gonna need us to do next? Like, what am
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gonna miss?
Honestly, I've been like thinking about elite achievements, and there's a lot of like good ideas, and like there's so much we can do like right now. But I said this I think on last podcast. I still have more end game content coming, so until I finish that content, I can't really release the achievements because they're going to be based on that new content, right? So that's kind of where it's a showstopper for me. What I can do though is I could release them, and after release the new content, the end game content, and then you would lose your elite status and you'd have to finish the achievements. So that's one way to do it. If you guys want the elite achievements like sooner, I could do that, no problem. But it just means that if I release new content, you might lose your elite achievement badge and you lose the perks. So
That question came from Tennis Jacob, by the way.
okay, I think I'll do that. That's a good idea. Yeah. And even with Animals coming out now, because Animals is very mid-game to like content, so I'm gonna have to probably do the same thing with hard and medium achievements, like disable it or make you have to go back and redo a few of them, like a new ones that come out to get back your perks. But it should be no problem.
So this one is from the forum a while back, but can we get a way to stop the lumberjack from cutting down certain types of trees? This is so that people can save those trees for when their orb comes,
Yes,
or their
absolutely.
red orb comes
Absolutely.
next.
I'll just make some kind of options in the profile or something, or you could like right-click your lumberjack and you could select which type of tree you don't want to cut with lumberjack. So let's say you just like even you left-click him and there's a menu that pops up, and you can say, okay, I don't want the ancient tree or the Stardust tree to be cut with the lumberjack. So then he would just ignore those trees. Sure.
Right. Lord Binary asked, what do you plan on working on next after the farming update? But you may have already covered this.
Actually, I'm really trying to get the player numbers up. Right now we have 763 online, which is not too bad. But I want to get that number up. So this is the plan for like the upcoming few weeks. I'm going to be buying Sony Vegas, and I'm going to be making a tutorial for new players on how to like get things going, because there's a lot of questions. Like when you start the game, it's very kind of confusing. Of course, if you play Diamond Hunt 1 or even offline, you kind of know how it works, but for a new player to come in the game, they don't really know what's going on, especially those who haven't played like incremental games before. So I'm going to try to make a really quick, very like a 5-minute video of the game itself and how to like get things started with commentary, like talking over like the mouse clicks and stuff. Hopefully I'll make it like it'll take me probably a week to do this, and I'll make sure it's like really, really well made, so it's clear and simple. So that's actually my plan after the animals, and the loot bags for the last area too. I want to finish that first before I do that, and because I want to include the animals in the videos as well. So that's actually my plan for the next couple of weeks. So unfortunately, it's not really content, but I think it's a healthy thing to try to rake in more players, because right now people in chat ask questions like all the time, and it's kind of hard to just keep answering players who ask very like, because they keep asking questions about the simplest things, and it's hard to say, oh, go in your skills tab and then click on here and then click here. Oh, but to do that, make sure you have the quests unlocked, you know? So I think the video is going to help. So that's the plan for the next few weeks after the animals. And I'm going to have to come back and balance things with the animals. I know that. And I do want to release a few more, but I'll get to that at the end of the podcast. But yeah, I want to get more people on the game. If we can get 1,000 players online, man, that'd be sick. I'd be really happy.
That'd be a good thing to get.
Yeah,
You
we could do
actually,
like some special event or something. I don't know.
yeah, you actually mentioned some changes to loot bags. Is there anything more planned with that? I said, you've got the new loot bags that you got to update, but anything else?
Yeah, actually, okay, this is good because I feel, and I've heard this from a lot of players before, and they're absolutely right. I feel like some of the loot bags, the loot is not really good. So like all the way back to Volcano and Northern Fields, Haunted Mansion, even Dark Forest, all those 4 loot bags, like those sets of loot bags to me, I feel are not good enough. The loot inside is not. Of course, you have your uniques there, like your scythe, your bow. That's like awesome to get, sure. But the average loot is pretty shit, right? So I want to go back and modify that a little bit, try to balance it and make it more a bit better, but not too good where like it would crash the market type thing. I don't want to like make items crash too hard, but I do want to make it better. So that's also going to be coming up very soon. I mean, it's not a long update to do. It's just changing numbers. It's just knowing what numbers to change.
Messing around, yeah. Advoc wants to know if there are any changes coming for the bug report or an implementation of a known bug list.
Yes. The bug report right now, the way it works is the only way to submit bugs if you are a donor. You should have seen the bug reports I had before this. It was just a bunch of trolls asking stupid crap, and I was just like, yeah, fuck this, next. So that's why I put that like donor thing to allow players to like actually have like, that who won't really troll. I still get trolled sometimes, but whatever. A lot less than before. But I think what this question leads me to say is I'm going to probably make it so everybody can see the bug list. Either you have to have donated at least $1 to actually submit a bug, or you have to be like over level 300, for example, to show like that you're mature, not just trolling and just having fun. So I think that's what I'm probably going to do. Put
Seems
a level
like a
cap
good
on it.
solution.
Yep.
Font Type wants to know what's the possibility to go past level 100 in skills. Anything that you think you might ever change there?
I know if you played Diamond Hunt 1, you could go over level 100, but they were like called virtual levels. I think RuneScape 3 has that, which means like you actually see the number go over 100, but it doesn't really do anything. It's just over based on like the algorithm with XP to level. But I feel like it's nice to know that you accomplished the game. So, and I like the 100, like level 100, to say like, okay, I'm done with the skill. That's it. It's like it's locked in. So I don't think I'm gonna go over 100, to be honest. because I feel it would like demotivate people like who push to get that level, like let's say 100 brewing, which is already a pretty damn tough skill to get, despite all the buffs that we had in the past few months. And yeah, it was just like, oh, now I have to get level 120 to get potion, just like never ending. So it's nice to have that closure and get that level 100. That's my opinion, though. I mean, I think I'm gonna keep it that way, though.
I definitely like having the goal of 100 being there, and like you said, when you get it, you can kind of cross it off the list and start working on the
Yeah,
next one.
exactly.
How about next Diamond Hunt events? Is there anything planned for any of the special upcoming events, like a Midsummer maybe, or something like that?
Yeah, it was so funny to see the other event though. Like all the players in chat and like they're all like level 0 and you can see them racing to like level 50 and it's just like going up every like couple of minutes and oh I got a tree or whatever. It was so fun to see. If I do make another event, which I probably will eventually, it'll be like way more extreme because the one we just had now was it like a month ago that it closed. Um, yeah, it was like times 5 XP, right? And it was the same game. But I could make it so I think I said this in the last podcast, but it could be like you have like 5 times loot or only gold loot monsters, only shiny enemies, and like it could be crazy stuff. Like we could go overboard. So that could be really interesting. You could have shiny trees only, shiny monsters only. We could have even like new special types of trees that do all kinds of crazy stuff just for fun, because it's an event and it's temporary. So it could be interesting, and it's always nice to have that cash prize at the end. And I think there's a question based on like teamwork events or like team up events. I don't know how to say it.
Yeah, I see something down there from Scripton, wondering if there's going to ever be some sort of a team or community event. I know some other games have done ones where it's like a goal. Um,
Collaborative
yeah, something like
goals.
that.
What's
Or
that?
anything that you might have in mind for a community style event where everybody's working towards a common goal.
I'm just trying to find what would be that goal. Like what I like the idea definitely, but what would it be like as a collective team farm I don't know. I think the example in Reddit was like farm 100,000 red mushrooms. But like you know what I mean? Or should it could be a goal like as like all the players online get a total level of this, so all the levels combined together. That could be interesting. But
Well,
yeah,
it
I
could
guess so.
be collectively build something, collectively defeat a boss. So, build something where everyone has to, you can donate 100 stone every 24 hours and it needs like
Yeah,
several
yeah.
billion
Well,
stone or
I'm
whatever
not sure if the
to make
question
that.
points towards an event or it points towards the real game. But I'll answer it for both. Because it'd be cool to have like an event where like you have to build like this huge thing together, like this castle, and like um let's say the event lasts for a week and like let's say the castle says you click on it and it says we have to get a total of I don't know I don't know, I'll say a number 100 million stone. And then once like everybody like donates the stone to the castle, then it would get okay, now we need 100,000 logs, and then everybody had to donate the logs until the castle is done, and then everybody could go and explore it and like fight a boss at the end all together. Like everybody would be fighting the same boss. That could be interesting, like as an event. But in the real game, I don't see how that could work, right? However, I am seeing in chat co-op, which yes, that is something that will happen in the normal game. It is gonna be eventually coded and deployed, but yeah. And I've also thought about making this little team thing, I guess, but it's kind of like useless, but not really, because it's like a really good money sink, a coin sink. Is there'd be like a well where you could just donate money in the well, like throw your cash in or whatever. Like say you want to donate, I don't know, could be 1,000 coins, could be 10 million coins, and you type in a message, and there'd be a list of all the donations and all like the message, which would be like your wish, right? And then you could see like a list of other players who have donated the amount they donated, and then it would be a good money thing because I'm sure people would be like, donating a mil or whatever just for fun and have their name on the list and just to see like it doesn't do anything. It's just a good money sink and it's just fun. It could be 1K, like he says. Yeah, you could put whatever number you want. You could put 1K coins to donate to throw in the well. You could put 1 bill. It doesn't matter. And I guess I could make the list also sort by donation amount. That could be interesting.
There you go. It's a scoreboard now.
It's a scoreboard, but it
Who's
doesn't
gonna
do
be at the
anything.
top of the scoreboard for throwing away the most gold?
I know who's gonna be on top.
Aggro Dan.
Agrodan. Agrodon. Yeah, it could be interesting. Sure, I'm down to do it if people want it.
All right, Egos, I think we got some more questions. Do you want to grab one from the bank?
From the bank. This is another one from Scripton. Will sigils return to the marketplace?
Yes, like every holiday, you have new sigils that come out, and all the old sigils from that holiday is. So, for example, we had Easter for the last holiday, and the Easter egg sigil was available in the market, and not the bunny. The bunny was the one this year. What's the other one? Refresh my memory.
Um, Maybe the pumpkin that I'm using as an icon.
Well, the pumpkin's for Halloween. I'm talking about Easter.
Oh,
Is it just the egg?
I think it was just an
you had
egg,
the
yeah.
egg. You had
Okay.
that chocolate egg that was like 4,000 or 5,000 energy.
Oh, right, yeah. Because there's the Easter egg sigil, and there's also the chocolate egg that you got from Loot, but wasn't a sigil. But it was still there on the market, so yeah, that's how it works. So basically, every holiday, the old sigils slash items that were released during that holiday are available on the market. However, the new one that comes out during that year is not available till next year.
Okay.
Yep.
Let's see. Scripton was also asking for a way to request a mute, basically some feature that would ping the mods because they're not always watching everything going on in chat like hawks.
Right. Okay, I thought he meant like I read this before, and I thought he meant like a vote mute. People could be like, "Oh, this guy is spamming or he's being whatever," and he could go like, "Oh, let's make a vote and mute him," which I think was it's a good idea on paper, but it doesn't work because I used to play Counter-Strike and there's a command that's called vote ban. Counter-Strike source. You'd write vote ban in chat and you could like vote someone out and people would just troll. You'd be like, "Oh, let's get together and vote ban this guy." So I don't want that to happen. But to ping the mods, I guess I'm not sure how we could ping them directly because if they're not on Diamond Hunt, there's no way to contact them through the game. Like there's nothing attached to email or nothing like that. So it's not actually functionally viable to do, unfortunately. And I think the mods do like I don't know if they want to get pings every now and then to come on the game, and that's another topic there. But yeah, I don't have the functionality to do it anyways. So
We do our best, you know. We're always out there watching.
yeah, but it's not easy to find mods. I get emails every day to get, can I be mod? Can I be mod? It's like, well, I mean, I don't know you. Are you good? You know, it's not easy. And like I was telling Egos last week, from now on I want to talk to my mods in voice so I can get a better understanding of who I'm picking. So from now on, that's what I'm going to be doing. Definitely.
Any plans to open up some sort of new mod initiation, or are you actively looking for any more mods right now, or are you kind of just working with what you got?
Right now, I'm pretty happy with who I have now, but we definitely need more mods though. And that's a good idea. I didn't think about this, but you said like maybe have like a way to like apply like officially, not just sending me an email saying I want to be mod, I want to be mod, which is basically what I'm getting now. Maybe have like an official forum where you log into your account, you answer the questions and blah blah blah, and then based on that list, I could actually pick someone, talk to them in voice, and interact with them, get to know them a bit, and then maybe move on to becoming a mod, I guess. I think that'd be a better way to do it. But yeah.
Scripton was also wondering what your thoughts are on the game's overall progress.
I'm actually really happy with the way the game is going now. But like I mentioned, I want to get that player count up. So I'll be working on that um, the little tutorial, and I'll send it to the chat first before uploading it. I can just like upload a private one on some random like channel, and you guys can give me tips based on like because you guys play the game, so you actually know what goes down. So I'll probably do that. I'll make the video. I'll post it in chat, see what you guys think, and if you guys like it, we'll post it on YouTube, and hopefully we can get some more players. But I'm pretty happy with 700 players. 777 right now online is pretty good. But that's the goal. Yeah. It's much better than Diamond Hunt 1. I think we had like at one point like 100 players online. Or like even less and sometimes. So
Shoot, we got 100 people tuned in for the podcast right now, so
Yeah, that's good. I'm
moving in the
happy.
right direction. Tell your friends.
Yeah. Tell your
Diamond
friends,
Hunt,
yeah, please.
diamondhunt.co.
Yep, or .net. I bought that domain too. Or .org. .com is too expensive. So yeah. I think it's already owned by someone. Some guy who like sells diamonds, actual diamonds, which is basically just carbon, right? So who gives a shit?
All the joy. Sorry, I had to go ban someone from chat because someone is trying to share someone's password. It's just not cool.
Just ban him, insta ban him.
Yep. So I don't know if you remember Diamond Height offline there, Schmitty, but there was a civilization feature, and Scripton was wondering if you were thinking about implementing
Oh
anything
yeah,
like
yeah, I
that
do
into
remember
Diamond Height
that.
2.
That was so for those who don't know, like there was a part in Diamond Hunt offline where you could like craft houses and then people would come live in your village. So you craft like a wooden house, you get like 100 population. You craft like a hotel, you get plus 1,000. But then you'd have to like, oh no, that's not, yeah, that's how it was. And
Yeah.
after having a number of certain people, like population, you can like buy, I think it was a nuclear power plant. Like after you get 100K people, I don't remember the number, but you'd unlock more items based on your population, basically. So that's how it worked. Do we want that in Diamond Hunt 2? That could be actually pretty interesting. It'd be a completely, um, it's very different to the game itself right now. It could be interesting. If people want it, I'll do it, like for sure. So if he has a good suggestion on that, like maybe not exactly how it was in Diamond Hunt 1, but something similar, post it on Reddit, I'll read it and then I'll take a look at it. Just like the animals were all came from Reddit. I did not come up with this idea. People kept posting about horses and like uh new like farming animals, and that's where I got the idea from. So I definitely read everything on Reddit, even if I don't answer.
All right, Smitty. Any plans to do any sort of special bonus holiday XP events in the actual game, not in an event mode, just like maybe a double XP weekend or something like that?
I don't think it works for this game, and I don't even like the idea. Unfortunately, I'm sorry whoever posted that. Anyways, I don't want to force people to play because this weekend is the weekend that is XP. Because you guys all know this probably, but I played RuneScape, and they started doing this double XP shit, and I was like, I can't go on that weekend. I'm with family. I'm away from home. That sucks. It's like it kind of ruins it. And plus on Diamond Hunt, like it'd come to a point where like, oh, I'll just save up on Stardust until it's double XP weekend and just use all my Stardust. So it doesn't make any sense for the game. Sorry, man.
Cuddle Badger here has got actually a really good question, and I was wondering this myself just the other day. There are some strange trades from the strange vendor, uh, such as receive raw shark for cooked shark, give 10 Promethean bars for 10 Promethean cannonballs. What's up with those, Smitty? Any plans to update the vendor trades, or are those working as intended?
Um, the thing is, the vendor, the number that's generated like is random. So sometimes you'll get 10 Promethean bars for 6 cannonballs, which is not worth it because you're losing 10 bars for 6. But sometimes you'll get 16 cannonballs for 10 Promethean bars. So that's worth it in that case. But I know most of the trades aren't worth it, but there's still some that are worth it. And if we're up to, if you guys like post on Reddit like suggestions for changing those numbers, but not to make it OP, just to make it like, a little bit helpful, I'm down to change it for sure. And the reason I went for the raw shark, for the cooked shark, I was like, well, if someone has a Runite furnace, they could trade a cooked shark for a raw shark, cook that shark 100% chance, right? Because it's a Runite furnace, you can't burn it, and that's like free XP. So that was my thought process when I coded that.
Boy, I'd like to meet the person that actually has heat to do something like that more than like once or twice.
It's true, it takes heat too. Forgot about that part.
It's not quite free.
It's not quite free at all. It's actually not free at all. That, I guess that's an oversight for me. Wow, okay, I gotta change that.
All right, here's another one for you. Someone was wondering, Diamond Hunt, obviously, great game. We all love Diamond Hunt. But are there any other games that you've ever made outside of the Diamond Hunt vein? Just kind of fun things or pet projects in the past, or is Diamond Hunt kind of the one and only?
Um, Before Diamond Hunt Offline, I used to run a RuneScape private server. So basically, you'd go on this forums, you'd download the source code, and you'd run the server, and people would play. And I would modify the code to make it fun. So that's like my big project before this game. Like it was that. And one day I was like, I was tired of like coding off someone else's work, and I was tired of like, obviously running a private server is not, it's not really your work. You're using the graphics from the cache that are given to you. So I wanted to make my own game, and I made Diamond Hunt Offline, which will show some pictures of how bad the game looked the first when it got released, which is really funny. It's been a long, we've gone a long way. But yeah, that's the only big project I think I had before. Apart from school, where I do like little laboratories, which is like 4-month projects, nothing too big.
All right, here's one from BMW Person. And I'm not sure what he's talking about because I haven't encountered the triple stick dudes yet. But how are you supposed to kill
Oh,
those
yeah.
triple stick dudes, Smitty?
Okay, the way I tested this was so first when I release a new area, I have to like fight the monster at least 20, 30 times, even more sometimes, to like get a feel of is he too hard, is he too easy? And I try to make different combinations of equipment. So like for one fight, I'll wear a full Prometheum, and I'll use a cannon with normal like iron balls or whatever, iron cannonballs. And yeah, I tried different combinations, and the triple guys, the only way I beat him was I had to have full armor, and I think armor does not, they're using magic, so it goes right through your armor. So all you have to do is wear your robes. You have to have no, wait, what's the last page again? I'd have to check okay, yeah, the last page is obtained from the quest, right?
Yep,
The one where you have to beat the mage.
that's correct.
You absolutely need to use that to beat the three little guys. And at one point in the fight, he charges. It says charging on his like icon on his sprite, and right after that, he hits like a 60. So obviously, you have to use reflect. And since he uses it every 15 seconds, your cooldown, like you can't use reflect every time. So you have to tank a few of them, and it's gonna hurt, and you have to pray on RNG. But I still beat him a few times. I think I beat him like 2 times in a row, lost 5 times, and I won 2 times in a row, I lost 5 times. And with the new equipment that's coming out, I'm sure you guys will be able to beat it. Actually, I can spoil one of his loot right now. If you didn't notice, can we get an image on here? Let me send you the image.
Yeah.
Of the NPC. So basically, for those who haven't, like, this is like the last area. It's really end game. Basically, the last guy is wearing an amulet, and that amulet, as a drop, is gonna be really good. Give me 1 second here. I'm in a Diamond Hunt Offline folder right here. It's not good. Okay, here it is.
You can
One
just drop it
second.
right into the chat there, and I'll pull it up.
Sure. But it's like no one's like it's not a lot of people have seen these characters, so it doesn't apply to everybody because it's really end game stuff, and it is a lot of RNG. I gotta say, I think I lost like 8 times in a row before that, and I have max gear. Not max gear. I don't use runic cannonballs; it's too expensive. So I use all max gear with the Prometheum cannonball when I test end game monsters, and usually before I release it, I have at least beat it once or twice, or even like 3 times. So let me just throw that in chat for you, Mav.
Yeah.
Just post.
I'll pull that up, and we'll take a quick peek. Oh, here they are.
Yeah.
Our triple stick guys. Okay, this is that. So that's what we're talking about here.
Yeah. So there's 3 of them, which means the damage is stacked times 3, and you can actually see the hits separately. So you see, like the first guy will hit 3, the second one will hit a 5, third one a 3. But when he charges, they hit like 20 to 30 each, and it goes through defense. So you have to reflect it at least a couple times to beat him for sure. And yeah, the amulet he's wearing is kind of grayish, but it's called the Amulet of Life, and you have to charge it with. There was a suggestion on Reddit about using more green leaves and yellow leaves, so like the lower level leaves. So you charge it with those leaves, and it brings you back to life if you die. It gives you back 25% of your HP, and you come back to life.
Oh, I like that.
It's a really good amulet, and it's a good sync for the leaves, right?
Yeah, that's actually a really good idea because I know that there was a comment last time about not really having much use for those.
Exactly, yeah. So that's kind of what I'm going for. At first, I was like, oh, people, but people make the ropes too fast, and it was gone. Here's the amulet charge map if you want to put up on screen.
Sure.
It's just like greenish, so you know it's charged. And it's coded, but I'm not sure if I want to make it destroyed on use. So when the amulet is used, it destroys itself, or if I just make it so you charge it again. If I do make it so it destroys on itself, I will make the drop rate way more often because, let's face it, a 1 in 40 drop rate that destroys itself when it's used kind of sucks, right? So I'm still on the iffy on that, so I'm not too sure. But yeah, it is doable though. I've done it, so you gotta pray on RNG. And I was like maxed out. I had the red orbs. I had the red wand orb, which is like double mage damage, super strong. I had my mana pots like always on, so critical critical strike potion. Did I say potion?
Potion, yeah.
Potion, yeah.
You drink,
Critical strike.
you make one of those, and then when you make one, it actually makes another one, and it's just recursive potion making. That's the brewing XP buff that we've all been waiting for. Just gets
Are
us
you
right
guys,
to 100 like that.
Is everybody still upset about brewing the XP? Is it too hard still?
You know, I've been slowly working my way up. I think that there are definitely opportunities for some cooler potions, stuff that, you know, makes situations a little bit more. Like I really like the bar potion, right? I like being able to throw that on if I know I'm going to be making a bunch of bars, and then okay, maybe I'll get a couple extra free ones out of it. I think a higher level one of that would be really cool for like Promethean bars that procs, you know,
Yeah, it's
2%,
interesting.
5%, something like that.
Post it on the Reddit. I'll definitely look into it.
That's a
You
good
did
idea.
make it half as easy to level to 100.
Half as easy. It's nice to have one skill that's really hard though. I feel like woodcutting is the easy skill in Diamond Hunt. Everybody knows that, but I like to have that one hard skill. Not necessarily annoying, but hard. And I do want to change the XP for the brewing kit. Yeah, not the brewing kit, the brewing mix or the brewing stand, whatever I called it. Because I think it's not worth it. If you drink the potions it takes to make the potions in the brewing stand, or it's not worth it. So I want to change the XP on that, which is going to help a lot. Just 1 second, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, so I'll be back in like 10 seconds. Just I guess keep talking about how shitty brewing is.
I mean, honestly, this is the moment that I was waiting for, because I'm over here just waiting to check my stuff, right? I see I've got combat that's been off for like at least 30 minutes. That's a bad thing. You got to really maximize your time in Diamond Hunt. It's all about the efficiency. Oh, what do you guys think? Should we fight the bear? I was kind of hoping for a skeleton. With my luck, though, I'm gonna get a bat. Let's give it a go here. Yeah, there we go. There's the skeleton. This is why a Diamond Hunt stream would be incredibly effective, because there's nothing more exciting than watching somebody go through combat in Diamond Hunt. It's riveting.
Cast a bubble against a skeleton.
It's just using the mana up, man. You gotta, like I said, you gotta maximize your efficiency. Look at all this extra magic XP I'm coming up with. All right, come on, big money, no whammies. No such.
You should be fighting.
No such
You
luck.
should be fighting the 3-6 guy we just saw.
Yeah, I'll get right on that with my my 70 combat. That would go pretty poorly for me.
Pretty quickly too.
Yeah. All right, well, welcome back from
Thanks.
your quick escapade there. Let's see. I think we've got one more good question here from Reddit, and then we'll jump into some of the ones from Twitch that we've gotten. So, QSun, we're gonna abbreviate slightly, says, is there any chance for a notification around the factory running low on charcoal? Sounds like maybe he doesn't burn charcoal all the time. He just kind of sets it up and then realizes, oh shoot, I gotta send the rocket, but I've got no charcoal.
Oh yeah, I think I got this question. I think he PM'd me or I saw it on Reddit. Yeah, I'll definitely add an option where you can like put a notification if your factory runs like below an X amount of charcoal, so you know exactly when to put more in. Sure. I think that the charcoal factory is very strong with the brewing orb. Not the brewing orb. What am I saying? The red factory orb, because if you don't have that, it kind of uses the charcoal pretty heavily. So, but yeah, just a thought. Sure, I'll add it in.
All right. I have a question here from Axiom Unknown, which I know leads into a story that we told last time. But it's a great story, honestly. I think you should recap it. He was asking about the Diamond Hunt glitch where you could sell negative items. Maybe this was a different one, actually.
Oh.
So there was one with Infinite Stardust from the Rocket. I remember that was the time that
Oh yeah.
weren't you like downtown or something having a beer?
Yeah, I talked about it on the last podcast. I was downtown Saturday, beautiful day. Downtown having a beer with my girlfriend, you know. We were at the Just for Laughs festival in Montreal. If you guys know what that is, it's pretty big down there. And I got a text from my brother or on a Facebook message with a GIF. He actually recorded it on his screen and sent it to me. It literally goes, clicks on a rocket, collect. Then you get your Stardust. Clicks on rocket again, collect the loot. Click rocket, collect the loot. Over and over and over. So I saw that and I was like, oh fuck, we're in trouble. So yeah, I said on the podcast one. What I did is, well, I had my beer was just opened. It was nice and fresh, you know, and I was like, I gotta throw away my beer. So I threw it out. Got to I had my school, which is like 3 blocks down. Got my car, went down to school, went in the lab and fixed it up down there from remote desktop. I disabled the rocket and I rolled back the server before the update. It happens and it kind of sucks, but. And the other one was even more like it was so stupid. It was so let's say you're making a potion for brewing, and let's say instead of putting the number 5, like I want to make 5 potions, you would put -5. So the server says, oh, he wants to make -5 potions. That means I'm gonna give him back the materials because that's how it works. Because if you make 5 potion, it uses material. If you make -5 potion, it gives you back material, but you'd lose 5 potions. So you'd go in negative potions. So that's how that worked. Very, very big oversights that are very damaging to the game, but very simple to fix. So that was the 2 biggest bugs I've had, and it's so funny because the bug where the negative glitch bug where you could put like negative whatever to get back your items really quickly, like you could. I think the guy had like maximum. It was on an update. It was on a thing where you were trading bars for something, and he had 2 billion Promethean bars, or was it gold bars? It doesn't matter. Anyways. I was actually bringing my girlfriend to the airport that night, and I get a text from one of my friends he likes to stay up late. It's like I think it was like 3:30 a.m. and he says, "Big bug on Diamond Hunt. Go check it out. You're probably sleeping, but you'll see it when you wake up." But I was awake. I was just at my doorway when I got the text, and it was like 3:40 a.m. at that time. So it's like, oh shit, get on the computer, I fix it. So lucky. So I rolled back the server like 15 minutes. It was beautiful. Yeah, those are the biggest bugs I've had. And we had one not long, which we've talked about at the beginning of the podcast. But that one's not so bad because I was able to track all the items and they all got removed and everything is okay. So.
All right. So I've got 3 questions here. The first one is one we missed from Meekrit Agent. He casually jokes about wanting to change his name. Are there any plans to adding the ability for players to change their name or a way that they can submit a request to have their name changed?
It's very easy to do because all you do is change a name in a database. And I think I even mentioned this last podcast, but I'll say it again. I don't think I like the idea of changing names because unless you have like a name where you're muted because you have bad words in your name, that I understand. Like I could make a system where you can change your name because you're like forced to change it. But I guess it's nice to see someone in chat. Like let's say someone plays Diamond Hunt and he's been playing for like 3 years. Like I know guys who are on there who've been playing my games for a long, long time. And it's nice to see those names come back. And if they ever change their name to something else, but I won't recognize those people. So I don't know if that makes I don't know if it's such a big deal, but to me it's nice to see old players that are still playing the game. And I couldn't know that if they would change their names. So I guess I like to see the old names because it's nice to see that they're sticking around. I don't know if I'm like, that's a bad thing to say, but yeah, I don't think I'll implement that. I mean, unless everybody really, really wants that, sure, but I don't see that much of a use.
Okay. So over the last year or so, there have been a few times that people have asked that the rules be updated to be and clarified. Why has that not been something that you've focused on doing at all when those people have requested
The
it?
rules, I'd have to go over them again. So that's how bad it is. But I mean, if the rules are unclear in any way, I'm super down to go back and fix them. But I think it's pretty straightforward in terms of like people always try to get around the rules with like this oh, it says this in the rules, but I did this, so it's like I'm using this loophole. It's like, dude, this is no, it's like don't do that. You know what I mean? Like people always trying to find loopholes and have excuses because it's not in the rules directly, but just use your brain. I mean, I get like it's insane. Like I get people who message me directly, probably like once every couple of weeks, say, hey, I got banned for alt trading. The fuck, man, what's going on? I'm just like, here's the data. He's like, oh no, but my brother took my account, and that's why I'm like, okay, but it's been 6 times in a row you've been telling me this, and I've unbanned you because I give you the benefit of the doubt, and then here I see it again. It's like, oh, but this time it was this. It's just like it's just straight up a lie. It's obviously is lying and stuff. So, and then sometimes they say that the rules are not very clear, and so God, it's such a that's what I hate the most. It's just a waste of time. I could be making content, but I have to deal with this crap.
So I have
go ahead.
I was gonna ask the next question. If you had more to add to that last one, now go for it.
Nope, that's it.
This is sort of off topic of the game, but what do you want to do when you grow up?
I want to be a full-time Diamond Hunt developer. No, but
There
honestly,
we go.
like if the game would actually generate enough revenue where I could actually live my life and actually buy food and eat, I would quit my job like in a heartbeat. It's so like when I was in school, you wake up in the morning, like I have a class like at 1:30. It's like 8 o'clock. I have so much time. It's so nice. Now like I have to go to work 9 to 5. I love my work. I love my job. It's a great place. But then you come back home at 5 and you've been coding for 8 hours, and then you come back home, you have supper, you know, but then you have to get back on the computer and you gotta code. And I love Diamond Hunt, so I'm gonna keep doing it for sure. But I mean, the dream of the dream is to get to the point where it makes enough money for me to work on it full time. And I'm not talking about like that much money, just enough to live on, you know. But we're not at that point yet, that's for sure. So that's why I'm working on like getting more players, because if we get like, let's say, this is like hypothetically speaking, but based on the numbers, I'm being really transparent. If we have like 4,000, 5,000 players online, which is a shit ton, it's way more than now, like 6 times more than now, then I would definitely consider working on this full time. And I would keep working on it as long as it would work, as long as the player count would be high, at least like 4,000. So we're far from there yet, but if ever that happens in the far, far future, definitely very happy to do that. So, but I do love my job, and I still like working on Diamond Hunt a lot, and I take it much more seriously than I did on Diamond Hunt 1.
It's a guest wanted to know if there are any future plans for stingers, spider webs, and thread.
Okay, this is an interesting question because on animals, which I'm going to talk about later, it ties in really well with this question because you can raise sheep, and sheep gives wool. Right now, it gives thread. It just gives you thread right now. So what I mean by thread is you can shear the sheep, and it gives you thread. And I wanted to make it give you wool at first, but then I realized thread is a thing, so I can't really do that. So there's two options. Either I keep it like this, where you kill or you shear the sheep to get thread, or I make it so I remove all the threads in the game and I replace it with wool. It would make the sheep very valuable because you'd have to, farm sheep in order to get wool to make your robes and whatnot. So just a thought. I'm still iffy on that one. I was actually up at 5 a.m. this morning and I was coding the sheep, and I was like, I didn't know what to do. Like, do I get rid of thread or do I introduce wool, or do I don't know. It's kind of weird that you're shearing a sheep and getting thread directly. But what do you guys think? What should I do?
Well, we have a
I want to
spinning
hear from
wheel.
you. We have a spinning wheel, yeah. So you could get wool and then spin it into thread from the sheep, but you get also thread from spider webs, right?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think that you definitely could find something to do with wool. It
Because
could
I
fit
think
into the game somewhere.
are people out of thread? Like, is thread like?
There's so much thread
There's
and
so much thread,
so
right?
much spider webs.
So exactly. So with the sheep coming in, like it's gonna be more thread. So either I make the thread more expensive when you craft things, or I make new things. I don't know.
Some
I'm
sort of
torn,
a
guys.
thread sync, if you will.
Yeah. Well, there is going to be new mage armor coming out in the future. I could make that use a lot of thread. Then it could be interesting. Okay, well, I guess, yeah, I guess I'll make it so you get wool and you can make your wool into thread. Right now, you get thread directly. You kill the sheep and you can just get thread and bones and sheep meat, which probably tastes horrible, but
Gotta love some mutton, you know?
some mutton.
Let's take one more question before we jump into the farming update, shall we, guys?
Sure.
So it looks like Yuki Jorgi was wondering what the average player level is overall. Actually, this is a great question because I would imagine that it's probably way lower than we think it is because there's a lot of level 1-0 accounts out there, I got to imagine.
I don't actually have the average. Um, I'm sure, like you said, like some people log in for 30 seconds and leave. Some people log in for 10 minutes and leave. So it's not really representative. And also, all the accounts from Diamond Hunt 1 got transferred to Diamond Hunt 2. And that was when people have quit Diamond Hunt 1. So there's a lot of level 1s based on. So that average would be way off, first of all. But we could do an average of what, like the top 500 or top 10,000. I can get that number for next podcast if we want it.
Yeah, that would be fun. I would just be curious what the number
Yeah.
is.
Yeah, I could do that for sure. If you look at top 1,000 though, the lowest level is 693. That's not too bad.
Not bad
I
at
mean,
all.
people have been telling me like, do you play your own game? And like, why are you level 180 on the account? It's like, I don't play on Spitty. I have an account on my local server, so I'm technically a hardcore player because there's no one to trade
There's
with.
no one to trade with.
There's no one to trade with. Like, I'm not hardcore, but I am essentially, and I'm playing the game on my little server alone, and just to like make sure everything's balanced. And I actually enjoy playing it. It's fun. And if ever I think something is too hard for that level, I'll know based on what I'm playing. But I just started doing this like a couple months ago, so I'm only level I'm like level 600, I think. So yeah, I'm doing that for balancing.
Well, should we get into it? I know we've got a little teaser that you had sent out in the chat before. Should we start with that? Because
Sure.
I'm
Do we
I'm
have more
pretty excited
questions?
about this.
Do we have any more questions on Discord that from the chat that Alex has been taking, or have they been said already?
Yeah, we've been working those into the stream. Our
Okay.
apologies, guys, if we missed your question. We might have time at the end to grab a couple more, but we can always get them all collected on Reddit and then have them ready for the next podcast too.
Here, I have a list here. I'm gonna post it now. Have we answered these? We're talking on Discord, guys. The way it works is Discord, and we're going through the Discord for the stream. So we have someone behind the scenes, like I said, who goes through the chat and getting questions. So, oh yeah, we've been through these. You're right. Okay, so let's show the let's get into the animals.
Yeah, sounds good. So I remember getting this image, which got me pretty excited. Like I'm looking forward to having this in the game.
Yeah, I teased this a few times in chat. For sure, like there was obviously a problem with the seeds, especially the food seeds. So this is like the obvious answer. And let's see if chat can guess. The quest is tied to a person. Can you guess who that person is? It's probably part of Bob's family, I would say. It's not Bob himself. The uncle takes care of the mushroom seeds, right? And Bobette's the one that takes care of the to find the seeds. But
You know, I bet Bob's got an aunt.
I see the answer right here. Bob's aunt is the correct answer.
Bob's aunt. Well, I'm personally looking forward to meeting her. So is this going to be unlocked right away with the update, or is this going to be as part of the quest? What we're looking at here, the plant seeds, the food seeds.
You have to do another quest to unlock this
Ah,
extra.
okay.
Because right now you have the mushroom seeds, and to get access to the other seeds, you have to do another quest. But it's not that hard. I think you need. I don't remember the requirements, but it's not that big a deal. You have to have a certain amount of harvests, total harvests of your carrots, potatoes, and wheat seeds.
All right.
It's not too
Well,
long.
that's not far away, right? I mean, we're looking at that update pretty
Today.
soon. Today.
Yep.
Today.
Today. I want to go back after the stream and test a few things, and then I'll release.
That sounds good. Here we've got another picture that you provided from. What what is this?
Okay. Oh my God. This is Diamond Hunt Offline version 0.00. And I released it. And Egos played it. He was way from back then.
A lot of people played it,
I
more
was
than you
surprised.
think.
I know. I have the analytics. Let me get a picture. I put Google Analytics on it and I had like a shit ton of people. Who was playing this shitty game? A lot of people was.
I kind of like
Um,
the diamonds in that stone there. That's kind of a cool graphic.
but it's not my picture. It's a rock from RuneScape.
I was gonna say this does look a little RuneScape-esque.
Yeah.
That's probably why I
I
like it so much.
I
It's
can't
bringing
take
back
credit
some
for
fond
that.
memories.
Definitely not. Yeah. I think the game generated like 20 bucks a month. That's great. Yeah, here's a picture I want to show you guys based on that. I'll put it in Discord.
The Google Analytics.
So right now we have 770 somewhat players online as we speak, and on that crappy game we just saw, we had 700 online, and it's already been over. And that was like a game I put together. I scrapped on pieces of code that hopefully worked. And oh yeah, you can see my tabs. Diamond
Yeah,
Hunt,
what's up with
GoldenEye,
GoldenEye up there? I was gonna
passive
ask.
JavaScript array. Oh, when I code, I listen to GoldenEye like the soundtracks for sure. Like I do all games. I do GoldenEye, Banjo-Kazooie, all those like old games. I've played them all. It's so much fun. And they're like 2 hour soundtracks, so it's nice.
Huh.
Any other personal information I should be hiding?
Yeah.
I didn't even check. Oh, you can see my email there. Shit.
Whoop. Can't see what.
Rip.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Shit. Well, that's okay. Okay, so yeah, that was like the first game, and you see the button that says open shop?
Yeah.
That actually led to another web page.
Was that this one right here?
No, that's my second iteration of the game. You can see it says store on the top with the tab.
Mm-hmm.
So I moved from switching pages to an actual tab, but it still looks like garbage. Yeah, so that was Diamond Hunt 1.
The top donator.
Not 1, offline, sorry. Right now it looks much better than that. Okay, so you want to go to animals?
Yeah, yeah. Let's
Well, that was my logo. My
get what
logo
we
tab.
got there. Oh, here, let's talk about the tick function first, because this is look at this piece of code.
Yeah, I get a lot of questions about the code behind the scenes, and this is server side, and this is what the main game function looks like. So I know like a lot of people don't program, but just to give you an idea real quick, every second this whole thing runs, and it goes through all the game functions to do what your player does. So, for example, you have like line number, like I'll say 12. I'm not sure if it's line 12, but it says this.pirates.tick. So every second you go into that function and it checks how many pirates you have, and it'll give you maps based on how many pirates you have and if you hit that number. So it's exactly everything is based on that tick function. When you log off and you log back in, the 8-hour offline time runs that function for the number of seconds you're offline. So everything is in, like if you delete this function, nothing's gonna work after. Everything breaks. So I think it was interesting to see that, and it's such a beautiful function. For those who code out there, it's so I don't know. There's a lot of work put behind it, and it's all condensed into one bit of code, and it does the whole game. Thought that was interesting.
It's the backbone of Diamond Hunt,
The engine.
the secret sauce.
Yeah. For those who do code games and stuff, the way it works is it's very simple. Is you have your inputs, and then you have your engine tick, so it's a loop that runs forever, and your outputs. That's basically what it is. Yeah. So for those who want to make games, you have to think about those 3 things, and then you're set. You're good to go. Because Diamond Hunt is a very easy game to manage because there's no animation, right? It's just pictures and numbers. So yeah, if you ever have questions on programming or coding in chat, just throw me an email. I'll be happy to help out.
All right, let's talk about the pièce de résistance. What everybody came in for, the animals.
The animals, yeah. So What's really nice about this update, I think it's a perfect update for this game because I'm sure everybody will agree is that it's hard to get bone meal in this game. Bones are worth a lot of money and it's hard to get. So you can kill your animals, which from the image you can see you have a history of what you've done, or like stats of all the animals that you've killed slash uh, collected stuff from. I know the image is pretty small, but if you look at sheep on the left, you have 447. That's the number of times that the sheep has reproduced. And the way it works is you have to have at least 2 sheep or 2 of the same animal for them to reproduce. So if you have 1, you're always going to have 1. If you have 2, they'll get 3, then you have 3, you get 4. And on the right here, you have the number of wheat that you have fed the sheep. So the more sheep you have, the faster they reproduce, but the more food they need to survive, right? So you have to find the right balance of a sheep. Because if you have too many sheep, well, they'll just be eating. They might not be worth your time. And if you don't have enough, well, you might be wasting potential like wool or like bones or whatever. So I think it's a really good update for that. It really puts that bone meal slash energy in a good place because you can also kill your sheep, and I've killed 4 so far. So I reproduced 447 and only killed 4. So I don't like to kill animals, but you know you gotta eat. So yeah, they drop food basically.
That'll be
And
good. I've been in need of some food recently, so having that extra.
yeah, food and bone meal is what people are having trouble with, and it's perfect. This update really it's not OP in a way where like, oh, now I have infinite bone meal, because my deal was not to my goal was not to crash the market on bones and energy for sure. No, right? Fishing is still a big part of the energy source, but this will help a bit, and hopefully it'll help hardcore a lot too. Yeah, panic
Yeah.
by bones. Yeah, you don't. I mean, it takes a long time to reproduce animals. It's not. You don't see them go up if you just stare at it. It takes time. And the thing is, it's really tough because like I have to balance it in a way where he has to eat less food that you could make energy with than if you'd kill them to get energy. Does that make sense? Like if you feed a chicken or a pig eats carrots. If you feed a pig 10 carrots and his meat only gives like less energy than 10 carrots, then it's not worth to feed the pig, right? So
Unless
I gotta
there's
find,
other bonuses.
yeah. So I have to find the balance between that, and I'm sure I have the numbers kind of wrong now. So after the release, I'll be sticking around to see feedback on Reddit, so I can probably adjust the numbers, and I'll be here all night to do that, and to probably play some Overwatch with you, Mav, after.
Yeah, that'll be a great time.
Yeah, I need a break, man. I think I slept 15 hours in 3 days. But yeah, it's
Um,
gonna be cool.
well, should we let Smitty get off to his programming so we can finish everything off and we can get that update here because it's launching soon, right?
There was
We're talking
a
minutes,
question
hours?
in the
Probably
main
half an
chat
hour.
about horses.
Oh yeah,
Oh, the
horses.
horse. We got horses, yeah. Um, I'll continue that picture real quick. But horses are a thing, but it won't be. Also, there's a quest tied to the farming, and it's not a 2 minute. Okay, this is a good quest because you actually have to. You could do it if you're low level. However, if you're high level, it's advantage, and it's not RNG based. So it's not like there's a quest you have to grow this white leaf, and it dies like very often.
Everyone loves that one. Smitty.
Honestly, that was my favorite quest.
Really,
Super enthralling. The story was amazing.
I would think people would hate it.
Yes.
Are you guys being sarcastic? Or am I
Yes,
reading
yeah,
this
no,
wrong?
yeah,
Okay.
that was not a great quest.
People hate
the
this
only
counting
way
quest.
for it to stop dying is to hit 100 level in farming, Schmitty.
Nah, I did it level 50. What are you on about?
No, it's coded for when it came out. I was level 90ish farming, and it kept dying on me,
I
and so I
believe.
just pushed to level 100 to get it.
Oh my God. I believe every 10 level off 100, you have one less chance of getting it. So if you're level 90, it's 1 out of 2. If you're level 80, it's 1 out of 3. Level 70, it's 1 out of 4. Level 100, it's 1 out of
Okay.
1. Yeah.
That's good to know. Mine died 7 times.
You've just got
You're unlucky,
some
man.
excellent
You're very
luck.
unlucky. Shooting stars and white thieves, apparently.
Yep.
So the way it works is you can see now there's a screen to purchase animals, and this is a good money sink. and they're pretty expensive, but they do reproduce, so don't worry about that. You buy them at least twice, and then they can just reproduce, so you don't have to like sink all your money in. And you see for the cow, for example, there's you need 55 farming and you need 20 reproductions. So you have to have reproduced at least 20 times any animals to get the cow, and that's how it works. And the horse is free, but you have to have reproduced 1,000 times, and the horse, which was posted on Reddit, will reduce your cooldown on your hero when he fights by 25%. It's pretty cool. And there's also a sick cure potion, which is pretty expensive because your animals get sick pretty often. The way it works is, I'm sure you guys will figure it out once the game's out there, or once the update's out, but just to quickly tell you guys is animals can get sick even if they have food. But if they don't have food, they have a very high chance of getting sick. And if they get sick, they can die. And if they die, you don't get anything. So you have to buy these potions, and you have to cure your animals with the potion. However, if your brewing level is high enough, you can make the potion and then cure your animals. And I'll be releasing a magic spell scroll to enchant that potion to make it last for a week of like no deaths on animal. So it's gonna be this is a good update. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. And right now there's the cow, chicken, pig, horse. There's also sheep in there, which is not in the shop because I've already bought the sheep for my local account. And brewing is cheaper. Is it? I should check that actually. How much is a crystal leaf?
Right now the potion is cheaper.
It's 1 crystal leaf and 4 lime leaves right now.
Yeah, the potion is way cheaper.
Should I change it to gold leaf? Even gold leaves are pretty expensive.
Yeah.
What should I do? Do I bring the potion price up? Do I make the leaves cheaper? Or do I like change the leaf type?
Well, I think lime leaves could always use something else to be.
Here, are you on your account? How many lime leaves do you have?
289. This is my current leaf count. I've actually been saving a lot of my leaf stuff for oxygen potions, though. That's where I'm at currently.
Okay. I guess I'll remove the crystal leaf right now, or make it cheaper because it doesn't make sense. The reason that the potion is there in brewing is to give you an advantage, and not paying 500k, right? So that was the point of it. Yeah. So they can get sick, and what's really tough is that when they get sick, is they die pretty quickly. And I had to make it so if you're offline and the animals get sick while you're offline, since they die really fast. So let's say like you log off, you go to bed, you wake up, you log in, and you have like 8 hours of ticks going through, right? So let's say your animal dies on like the 1 hour mark. You got 7 hours more of ticks. Of course, they're all gonna die during those 7 hours, right? So I had to do something kind of weird, where if you're getting offline ticks, they can get sick, but they can't die. So that's kind of weird. I don't know if it's going to change, but I'm going with that for now.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting my hands on it, playing the new update. We start with sheep, right? Is that the initial animal?
Sheep, yeah. You start with sheep, level 50. And I might make the levels a little lower. I think that's a little high because, yeah. And there will be more animals coming out, and not just animals like, I want to make this like rock golem who has like promethium stuck to him, where you feed him stone, and then to kill him you mine him, and then you get promethium by mining him, stuff like that. I'm open to do whatever.
Yeah. So there's a concern about what happens to the people who just leave the game open, because if you leave the game open for 8 hours.
Right. See, that's a very, very good question, because you'd be penalized in a sense, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why that's where I'm iffy on this update. What I might actually do, or to fix this, would be they'd have to die even if you're offline, but I could make it so they can't get sick unless if they have food they can't get sick, basically. Because I don't want to make the game more advantageous if you're not actually online. You know what I mean? Because if you keep your game open and they can actually die, versus if you're offline, they don't die. I don't want to do that. Yes, I'm going to remove that. I guess I'll make it so if they're out of food, they get sick really fast and then they start dying. But as long as they have food, you're okay. I guess I'll do that. Yeah.
Sounds good. And if we have any other things that we catch, Reddit's the spot to put them, right?
Yeah, that's actually I'm boggled. My mind is boggled right now. I'll figure something out. Good point though.
All right. Well, is there anything else that you guys want to talk about before we call it a day? Get Smitty into that coding mindset. You put on some GoldenEye music and
Yeah, I've actually played that game and I've passed it like it was a couple years back. I pulled out my N64 and plugged it in my HD TV and I quickly saw that this game was old. Yeah, but actually, just quickly, it kind of it sucks because I want the animals to get sick because I want the money sink with the potion. And by making it, because it's really easy to get wheat, right? So they won't get sick if they have food. And I want to make also a magic scroll that could actually enhance your potion and stuff, but yeah. Okay,
All
we
right.
could do let's do one giveaway. Or we could do three. Let's do three, like last time. Let's keep it at three.
Sure.
We'll do 3 giveaways for a month of free Dorner coins, 15 Dorner coins. So
All right.
yeah,
So yeah, throw out a chat for a chance to win some donor coins.
okay. Everybody in chat, if you want 15 Dorner coins for free, we'll pick a random name. Type in kill the animals.
Kill the rabbit, kill the rabbit. All right, they're coming in. Here they come.
Okay, give them
So
give them
many.
a minute to get those in.
Yep, and then
Man,
we will randomly select 3 of those guys, and those people will win some donor coins.
yeah, 15 bound Dorner coins.
Awesome. All right, well, we will pull all of that together. Smitty, we'll let you get off to your coding. Guys, remember that a little bit later today we're going to be playing some Overwatch once the update is live. So catch us over on Twitch TV/The Maverick, and we'll be
Yeah, the
over
link's
there
also in the
messing around.
description. The link's on the bottom in the description. I'll be on Diamond Hunt while playing the game later. And if anything needs attention, bugs, whatever, I'll be there to fix it.
And this is going to be the official end of the question part. So we're going to be over there having fun, but there won't be any Diamond Hunt related questions that we're fielding during our
Yeah.
Overwatch. Because I noticed your play got a little bit worse when you were actively engaging in those questions.
Yeah, we had an Overwatch gaming night, I guess. Was it 2 nights ago?
Yeah,
And
it was.
getting a bunch of questions and reading the questions and answering them and playing is too hard. So,
And the drinking probably didn't help either.
no, it didn't help either. It was fun though.
Also, the last thing, guys, is this is now the official Diamond Hunt Online stream, so we would love if we could hit that 50 follower mark. If you're here with a Twitch account and you haven't already followed, we would greatly appreciate if you could hit that follow button for us. That'll let us get to the 50 mark that we need for the cool emotes and stuff.
I just remembered what I want to post. The Stropple.
Oh yeah, the Strapple.
Let me do that before we leave real quick, because this is gonna really clear things up for me. So I'm gonna post a question. I'm gonna let you guys vote on this. It's about the content updates. The question is basically, do you prefer having longer periods of no content update or no updates at all, and having a bigger update like today, or do you prefer having updates every 3-4 days? Once in a while, have a bit of content, bug fixing here and there, which does mean that sometimes content will be like half released, like the loopbacks, the last area is like not done yet, but it's there type thing. But let me just type in this real quick and I'll see what you guys say. I'm so tired. I need to sleep more before podcast because this is quite the adventure for me. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna post it in the chat real quick. I'm actually gonna post it, broadcast it online on Diamond Hunt as well. We'll have to say. So, do you prefer smaller, more frequent updates, or larger updates over a longer period of time? It was nice to code this because I also had to think about things. So. Okay, I'm gonna create the poll. I'm gonna post it in the chat, coming in now. And I will post it also on the official game.
All right, we got that straw poll out there. We got
Cool,
our update queued up and ready to go.
60-40 so far.
Sounds good. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us. Egos, thank you so much for coming in and doing some questions with Smitty and I.
Yep, it was good to have you guys here. Apologies that I'm a little tired, but if we want another podcast, I'll be sure to get some sleep. Yeah.
Sounds like a vote for smaller updates so that you can get your sleep.
All right. Well, thank you very much, guys. We'll talk to you all soon.
Great.